Welcome back. If it has joined us to watching Channels Television, coming to you from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories this evening. Former Delta State Governor James Ibori regains freedom from after spending 3 years in a British prison. The federal government promises to reward whistleblowers who expose financial and economic crimes in Nigeria. Army authorities deny allegations of neglect of Nigerian troops fighting Boko Haram in the northeast. Insists video clip of fainting soldiers is erroneous. And police in Germany begin manhunt for suspects in lorry attack on a Christmas market in Berlin. A quick reminder that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on a mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates, so you can also have the Eyewitness feature to be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. So let's take a look at some of the pictures you sent into our Eyewitness portal. We begin with this one from Edo State. It shows a damaged vehicle with passengers plying the Benin bypass road. Our Eyewitness reporter is shocked people are willing to risk their lives plying this road. He's asking the Federal Road Safety Corps to step up vigilance on roads to save lives. Our next picture is from here in Lagos. We see an overcrowded pedestrian bridge following efforts to encourage utilization of such bridges in the state. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the congestion stopped by asking government to provide more bridges across the state. We're on to Ogun State, where we see the image of Itele Road in Shongo area. According to our Eyewitness reporter, construction of this road began 4 years ago, but it has been abandoned. He wants it fixed. Back in Lagos is this picture showing a road along Ojo Alabarago leading to the Alaba International Market. Our Eyewitness reporter criticizes the prolonged poor state of the road, which leads to a major market. He wants the government to do something about it. Our next picture comes from Cross River State. We see a large portion of a road in Big Jaba village. We'll see that in a minute. There it is. It's almost completely eroded. Our Eyewitness reporter describes it as a death trap for motorists unfamiliar with the road and calls for immediate intervention. Our journey ends in the Federal Capital Territory, where we see an inspiring picture, a resilient small-scale business thriving despite the odds. Eyewitness reporter who believes there are still opportunities even during an economic recession is encouraging Nigerians to imbibe the entrepreneurial spirit while the country works towards recovery. Thanks for sending in those pictures. Know that you too can become an Eyewitness reporter for Channels Television. Staying with our story on the welfare of soldiers in Nigeria, I'm being joined on the news at 10 by the Executive Director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Projects, Mr. Adetokunbo Momini. He joins us from our studios in Abuja. Glad you could join us tonight, Mr. Momini.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Do you think it's an embarrassment to the military that such a video, as was shown earlier in the bulletin, was released to the public? And isn't it bad enough that it happened anyway?
I don't consider it anything in the nature of an embarrassment. It is important that the Nigerian public should know what is happening to the Nigerian soldiers who are doing monumental things for Nigerians under very difficult circumstances. It is important that this picture comes out so that adequate investigation thorough investigation can be conducted into it so that the truth, the actual truth, the full truth of what transpired, whether it was recorded 6 months ago or just recently, will not be consequential. What is important is that the truth must be known as to what is happening to the welfare of those who we have entrusted our security to, and that they should be taken care of properly. That is the most important thing.
You sound like you're saying that the army honestly could not have known that this was happening with their own soldiers.
But there should be line of command, line of duties, especially in relation to welfare of the troops. So I would not agree that the army should not have known or would not have known. Somebody has responsibility to take care of these men, and that person who has the direct responsibility to provide them with welfare and their allowances and what should make them be in high spirit to do the work must have been guilty of dereliction of duty. If we can see, if we can look at that video and see what is actually happening on ground to the troops.
Mr. Momene, do you think that this video and the condition in which these soldiers were when this video was shot, do you think it sort of compromises the mission for which they're in the Northeast?
Very well. You see, it's like the Oga of the house not taking care of his megad properly. The man is just sleeping and living on borrowed times because the megad may eventually compromise the security of the house. If you employ somebody for an assignment as serious as security, you must take care of his welfare. If you don't do that, then the security will be compromised. The man will not be doing the work with gusto and sincerity that he should apply to the service, and that compromises the security of the owner of the house. The same way, they won't do the work seriously, and that is what will result in a backlash to what we now consider as safe area. If this type of something has to be done seriously and urgently to continue to take care of the welfare of the troops so that they will be able to do this work with sincerity, with gusto, with all their mind and power and the will at their disposal, so that security will not be compromised, the citizens of Nigeria will be safe.
Could that well, I've been told this is where we end it. Mr. Adetokunbo Omumeni, thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10, the Executive Director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project. He joined us from Abuja. And it's time to head on to Abuja now, where Linda Akiwe is standing by with more on the News at 10. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi. The Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, has constituted a judicial commission of inquiry to investigate the killings and other violent acts that occurred during the December 10th rerun and supplementary elections in the state. The panel, which is chaired by Justice Chiwendu Nwogu with 6 other members, is to, among others, investigate the remote and immediate causes of the violence during the elections, identify the perpetrators of the various acts, identify the victims, and make appropriate recommendations. According to the statement by the Special Assistant to the Governor on Electronic Media, the panel is to submit its report within 1 month. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has condemned the increasing cases of electoral violence in the country, saying no election is worth the life of any Nigerian. He said this while on a condolence visit to the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, over the death of 3 policemen during the December 10th rerun elections in Rivers State. Professor Yakubu commended security operatives for paying the ultimate price in the line of duty to uphold law and order.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakub, on a condolence visit to the headquarters of the Nigeria Police in Abuja. The INEC chairman was at the police headquarters to condole with the Inspector General of Police over the murder of Deputy Superintendent of Police Mohammed Al-Khali and 2 other policemen in the Rivers State parliamentary rerun elections.
People often fail to realize that securing the environment for election in Nigeria comes with grave risk, and people have paid with their dear lives to protect the environment to enable us conduct free and fair elections. So I would like, on behalf of the Commission, to condole the Nigerian Police Force on this very sad loss. As we speak, a national commissioner from the headquarters, joined by our resident electoral commissioner in Niger and other staff, are in Mina to condole the family of the late DSP.
The Inspector General of Police used the occasion to warn politicians to be law-abiding. He adds that the level of violence witnessed during the rerun elections in Rivers State will be the last any state in Nigeria will experience.
If it's people in charge of governance, the political parties and citizens are not ready to cooperate, I think we have a responsibility to ensure that election, wherever it is held in this country, must be conducted in a peaceful and smooth process.
With the speeches over, a minute's silence was observed in honor of the slain police officers and all others who lost their lives in the course of the River State parliamentary rerun elections.
When the news at 10 returns on our community report tonight, hundreds of displaced fishermen from Bakassi take to farming as a new occupation. Join us again.